today running the ball, and then the whole thing boiling down to how well they can pass protect, and special teams, because Barry Foster will have a day, and I think Emmitt Smith will have a day.
That, of course, was John Madden. I'm Pat Summerall. As the Steelers will have first crack at the ball, Chris Bonio, the new Cowboy kicker, will start things for this season. Rod Woodson back deep for the Steelers. All-time All-NFL team was named just recently, and Rod Woodson was on it.
I think this is a great kickoff. The defending Super Bowl champions kicking off to one of the greatest players of all time.
And two of the best teams, at least as far as we're concerned, of this year. Bonio. Woodson at the 5. Down at about the 25. Let's look at the Steeler offense. Neil O'Donnell, 230-pound quarterback. 5th season from Maryland. In front of him, an excellent offensive line. Jackson and Searcy are the tackles. Kalis and Duval Love, and the great Dermotty Dawson in the middle. Barry Foster, John L. Williams, Charles Johnson, the rookie, #1 draft choice, and Andre Hastings wide. Jonathan Hayes starts at tight end. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Foster, room. About 9. Stopped by Darren Smith and Tony Tolbert. The Dallas defense, they lost some depth. Haley, Lett, Russell, Maryland, and Tony Tolbert. They lost Casillas. They lost Ken Norton. Smith, Jones, and Edwards. Robert Jones, the new middle linebacker, although he started a couple of years ago. The secondary, excellent secondary. Foster again. 1st down, Pittsburgh. Stopped by Robert Jones. A lot of eyes will be focused on him today.
Yeah, if you look at the Dallas Cowboys, I think they're probably the same team on offense, maybe even a little better, but I don't think their defense is as good as it was a year ago.
Certainly not as deep.
Well, as you mentioned, they did lose a couple players. They don't have those backup guys, and they've had trouble all preseason against the run. And as we said earlier, Barry Foster is going to be a test today.
They've had some nagging injuries to Jonathan Hayes from O'Donnell. Robert Jones made the stop, but it's another Pittsburgh 1st down. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, you want to see a matchup, Pat. Watch this one here. Here's John Jackson, who I think is a heck of a tackle. He's going to be blocking against Charles Haley. Now, this is pass protection. Take that inside hand, jam it in there, and Jackson is so strong, he can just ride Haley right to the ground. That's the way you want to start your pass protection.
They need a yard. Foster got away from Haley. I don't know if he got that yard or not. Dixon, Edwards, and Robert Jones out to make the hit after he eluded Haley.
You'd think that they would just kind of run that thing straight ahead and not spend so much time going right and left. They look at Barry Foster. They were worried about his ankle injury. He missed the last 7 games of the season, had surgery in the off season, and they say that they think he's back to normal, but it's really hard to tell in preseason because you don't play at the same level and the same speed you're playing today.
3rd and a yard. That's to Foster. O'Donnell. Incomplete. Intended for John L. Williams.
The offensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers is Ron Earhart. We've known him for years. Remember when he was with the Giants, and that's kind of a surprise. I mean, Ron Earhart is the kind that runs it at you in play pass, but you think on that 3rd and short, I would have anticipated that he would go for the 1st down.
Mark Royals, 6'5" punter for the Steelers, gets one off the side of his foot. To Kevin Williams. Williams to about the 24-25, but a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to be an automatic first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pat, because they're saying it's against the Cowboys. Remember, they were just 4th and 1, so any type of penalty will be a first down.
Referee is Bob McElwee. Apparently there is a problem with his microphone, not us. Barry Switzer. Big day for him.
I think it is. You know, it's a big day for the Cowboys. It's a big day for the Steelers, because I think they're going to find out a lot about themselves. You know, are the Steelers really one of the best teams in football? Do they have a shot at going all the way? You know, can the Cowboys repeat for the 3rd time? You know, what's the change? Not having Jimmy Johnson, having Barry Switzer. A lot of those questions will start to be answered today.
Totally different coaching styles as Barry Foster tries the right side, is stopped by Tolbert and Russell Maryland.
Russell Maryland played that one tough. You know, Russell Maryland had played right tackle last year, and he was moved to left tackle this year. And he's a real strong guy. If you watch him here, you know, he'll get in here and get that penetration. And any time that can happen, they're not going to gain. You see how he starts here, then he gets the penetration right there, then that allows no hole or no cutback.
2nd and 10. Outside, Foster hit hard by James Washington. Did well to hang on to it.
James Washington was saying that Neil O'Donnell throws a lot of inside passes, although that one was to the outside. He was telling us last night, he said, I'll tell you one thing, you're going to see a lot of interceptions today, and if you don't, you're going to see a lot of collisions. There was the first big collision. There are tackles, and there are collisions. That was a collision.
3rd and 7.
3rd and 7 on the line.
O'Donnell back to throw it again, pulls it down. Coming out of there. Close. Maybe not the first down, however. Didn't get enough.
Tell you, Leon Lett was there, number 78. He was kind of right in O'Donnell's face, but his guard, Duval Love, did a good job of staying with him. That's 78. You see, he's right there. Duval Love stays with him. So when Lett goes up, that made O'Donnell able to escape to the outside.
Good effort by Jeffcoat.
Now the Steelers are going for it on 4th down.
4th and 2.
You know, last time they got that 3rd and short, they went for a play pass. Now they decided to go for it on 4th down, and maybe are going to redecide it. They just took a timeout.
They'll have 2 left. 4th and 2. Nail the blocker, but O'Donnell's going to throw it. He's also the pass receiver, and he got enough, I believe. He was over the first down limitation, then he rolled back.
Yeah, when we talked to Bill Cowher, he said the reason he got John L. Williams was a little as a blocker, but mostly as a pass receiver, and that was a heck of a catch, because that wasn't a good throw by Neil O'Donnell. I mean, that was high behind him and everything else, and now they have to measure to see if he even got to the first down.
When he had to come back because it was behind, he lost that first down yardage.
Yeah, he got lost in space and got turned around. He got the first down, but that was a pretty good call because John L. Williams was there, but that wasn't a very good throw by Neil O'Donnell. You know, sometimes you get all tense and nervous as a quarterback, and the toughest thing to do is throw those short or touch passes.
And it's a tough catch, too, when you're going straight away from the quarterback like that.
The way John L. was, you have shoulder pads and helmet and all that equipment you're wearing.
Johnson was the man in motion. Foster fires it back to O'Donnell. And Charles Haley, as we have seen him so often, make a big play like that.
He was in great position. He darn near intercepted the flea flicker.
Nothing at Three Rivers Stadium, Dallas, Pittsburgh. 9:25 left to play in the first quarter. Charles Haley.
I'll tell you, Charles Haley is a smart player, you know, because he's going to see the flea flicker, and you watch him right there. Now he sees it. He gets in between it, you see, and Buster had to fake the flea flicker and then come back and throw it again.
O'Donnell Haley around the corner. Draped around his legs with Russell Maryland.
You know, I still say that you need a dominant player on your team, and Charles Haley is that type of player. Watch him right here. If you need a play, you're going to get big plays from Haley. You see, they don't block him with a line. The line blocks down. John L. Williams is trying to block Charles Haley. Charles Haley sees that. Then he goes back for the flea flicker, almost intercepts the flea flicker, and then on the next play comes in and gets a sack. 2 big plays for Haley.
3rd and 29. Haley again, chasing O'Donnell. Jeffcoat after him now, and here comes Leon Lett. And Lett gets him out of bounds. I think they were trying to set up a screen to Haley's side.
I think they're pulling out everything they had. They tried to set up a screen to that side. They tried the flea flicker, and they tried the straight drop back pass. They've gone for it on 4th down, 3rd and short. They went for a play pass. Ron Earhart is pulling out all the stops here.
And the Steelers can't stop going backwards. Mark Royal. Kevin Williams fumbled. Got it back. Got a good bounce.
You know, that's what a dominant player is. I mean, that's what an impact player is, and that's why Charles Haley is one of those players. The Steelers were moving. They needed a play, and Haley gave it to him.
Haley hardly played or practiced. And he needs some gas, I think.
I don't know if they have any oxygen down there on that sideline, but I'll guarantee you after he gets some fluids in him, he'll go for that oxygen if they have it.
1st down, Cowboys. At their own 29. Irvin is right. Woodson is with him. Harper sets up inside Irvin. Now goes in motion. Incomplete, intended for Harper from Aikman. Let's look at that Cowboy offensive unit led by perhaps the best, Troy Aikman. In front of him, a fine offensive line. Derek Kennard is the new member of that group, replacing Kevin Gogan. Emmett Smith and Darrell Johnston in the backfield. Irvin and Harper, the wide receivers. Novacek, the tight end. 2nd and 10. Smith is deep. Aikman will throw it. Aikman, Irvin. 1st down, Dallas. Here is the Steeler defensive unit. They play a 3-4. Seals, Steed, and Gerald Williams, the front 3. 4 fine linebackers. Lloyd and Kevin Green on the outside. Brown and Levon Kirkland in the middle. Secondary figures, Perry, Carnell Lake, and Rod Woodson. 1st and 10. We're due for Emmett Smith when we get it. Only a couple.
You know, we mentioned Emmett Smith. We know that, you know, he's going to be a big part of this offense. Then if they stop that, then, of course, then they're going to have Troy Aikman throw into Michael Irvin. And that's going to be one of the great matchups because Rod Woodson is going with him every place he goes on the field.
Here comes Woodson. Irvin comes right. Back. Maybe a yard to Emmett Smith. No more. Chad Brown, the defender.
You know, one thing, we were talking to Emmett Smith yesterday, and he said if there's anything different in the offense this year with Ernie Zampese, coordinator, it's they're throwing them more swing passes and flat passes than they did in the past.
There's an injured Steeler. Gerald Williams, I think, is down. That's who it is.
That is Gerald Williams. More of Turner, of course.
Ernie is intense. at Three Rivers Stadium. Aikman back to throw it. Novacek to the 35-yard line of Pittsburgh.
You know, that's why the Cowboys are so tough. I mean, you got Michael Irvin on one side, Alvin Harper on the other side, Emmitt Smith in the backfield, and maybe Troy Aikman's favorite receiver is this guy right here, Jay Novacek. I think anytime he gets third down or really needs something, it really has to find a play, I think he looks for number 84. And you can't forget to mention the great pass protection on that play.
21-yard gain, first and 10, Emmitt Smith. Knocked backwards. Hit hard by Kevin Green at the end of that run.
Yeah, those guys, they have great bookends on this Pittsburgh Steeler defense. You have Kevin Green on one side and Greg Lloyd on the other side. So you're either going to run right this way. When you run to your right, you're going to find, boom, 91 right there. If you run to your left, the bad news is you're going to find Greg Lloyd, number 95, on that side.
Smith got 4, second and 6 at the Steeler 31. Novacek.
Novacek jumped, looked like he tried to run
Before
backwards.
The snap, number 84, offense. 5 yards, second down.
He was so proud of that catch that he made, he just decided to jump off sides. There he is, number 84 at the top of the screen, the left there. Watching, the play hasn't been snapped yet. You wonder what he was going to do. He was going to block down on Ray Seals. He had good position, didn't even make any contact. That was going to be a position block.
That's a good block. No contact. That's Michael Irvin in motion. Green rushing from the outside. Novacek again. Inside the 20 to the 19.
Well, Novacek gave him that 5 yards back, and then he said he had to go get it back. Again, this whole thing starts with good pass protection. If you want to watch a pass protector, just watch that guy right here. He's going to come out and block Kevin Green. And boom, he throws that right hand and just knocks him off course. Look at the room that they give Troy Aikman to throw the ball.
Good pickup by Emmitt Smith also.
See, that's great pass protection. Emmitt Smith in there making the pocket for Aikman.
This is Emmitt Smith to about the 17. Stopped by Kevin Green again.
Now, that's one thing that those two outside linebackers do, Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd, is they both come in from the outside, and if you're going to run away from them, you darn near have to block them. Remember years ago they didn't block Lawrence Taylor when he'd run away from them, then he'd make all the plays. Then they started to block him. I think with these two linebackers, Lloyd and Green, you have to do the same thing.
They'll run everything down from behind. Second and 7. Aikman. Novacek. Nothing there this time. Greg Lloyd.
Greg Lloyd, he started to walk over to the Cowboy bench, and he was pointing to them, don't think you're going to fool me. That was a full play. Greg Lloyd is a very physical guy. He's not the biggest guy in football. You see, he only weighs 226 pounds, but he's a tough guy. I mean, he is a card-carrying, legitimate tough guy. And he's a smart player. You know, and that when they tried to fool him, and no player likes to be fooled.
Here comes the Steeler blitz. Aikman just got rid of it. Hit by Woodson. Anytime he's coming from that position, you better have somebody assigned to block him.
You know, and that's what he does. You know, you always think of Woodson, you think of him as a cover guy, and you think of Woodson as a returner, but he's also a great blitzer, and he has great timing. You know, you see him, he stood back there, and he waited, and he waited, and he hit it, and then just hit that line of scrimmage just as the ball was snapped.
Novacek will hold for Bonio. The rookie is good on his first attempt in the regular season from 40 yards away. 3 minutes left, 3-0 Dallas.
Michael Irvin came off that field after that field goal, and he was really upset. Watch him here. I mean, he's yelling at coaches. He's yelling at players. Of course, he hasn't caught a pass yet, and I think that probably has something to do with it. He's caught one pass, but he, likes to get into the game, early, and they probably, Rod Woodson has been on him all the time, and then on third down, Woodson becomes a slot cover guy, and then he comes on the blitz, and then he probably didn't like the fact that they didn't pick up that blitz.
Johnson back deep this time, back to the goal line. The #1 draft choice. Hit by Matt Vanderbeek and taken down there. At Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. 3-0, the Cowboys lead. When you got the blimp around. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Dallas leading 3-0. At Three Rivers Stadium. Pat Summerall, John Madden. Barry Foster tripped up by Russell Maryland. Robert Jones.
Two things we see in this series here now. Eric Green, the all-pro tight end for the Steelers, just came in. Remember, he held out and just came to camp last Wednesday, so he was just in there. And then Charles Haley wasn't in there. Jim Jeffcoat was in for him, and now Haley is just coming in on this down.
Long yardage. They go with O'Donnell in the shotgun, the spread formation with Stone back there with him. O'Donnell, Stone, incomplete.
Well, that wouldn't have been a first down anyway. I mean, the Steelers go with 5 wide receivers when they put Stone in the backfield. They have Stone and then 4 other wide receivers, and then he comes out and throws some little 1-yard pass. That doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense to me.
Mark Royals again in, and Kevin Williams back deep for the Cowboys. They lead 3-0. Just over a minute and a half left to play in the first quarter. Opening day. 2-time Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys try to make it 3. Williams gets away from the first man. Can't take the rest of them. Craig Keith down to stop Williams. 7 Eastern, 6 Central. 1st and 10 Dallas. Their own 37. Aikman gives to Emmitt Smith. Nobody gets there quicker than he does.
And then does something about it after he gets there quickly. I mean, he is really fun to watch. I mean, if you were going to be a coach or a player, I think you'd want this guy, number 22, to go with you. Just watch him. He starts with the lead here, follows the lead for a while, just cuts right off Johnston's block, and then just makes another cut, and he's in there for a first down. I mean, the guy just has great vision, great feel, balance, strength, everything a running back needs.
Here he is again. To the Steeler 45.
Plus, the other thing he has is toughness. I mean, I think, remember that Giant game last year at the end of the season?
Never forget that one.
I think that was one of the toughest performances by an NFL player that I've ever seen in my life.
You look up in front of him at Mark Stepnoski. What a job he's done coming back from a very serious knee injury. The last 2 plays, outstanding blocks by Stepnoski.
How about the size of those 2 guards, Nate Newton and Derek Kennard?
Aikman. That ball deflected by Carnell Lake.
Now, that's the thing that these Steelers will do. They'll bring those safeties on you. You know, we saw that they brought Woodson. He's a corner. They brought him and they got a blitz. Then that's their strong safety, Carnell Lake. They bring him on a blitz. He's going to come right from the right side here. If you just look, you see him right here. He comes from the outside. Aikman was trying to throw to the side that Carnell Lake was coming from. He gets right in his face. He's trying to get the ball out there to Emmitt Smith, but he can't get it through Carnell Lake.
3rd and 4. Aikman back in a hurry. Gets it to Novacek. Shy of the first down and out of field goal range.
One thing the Steelers defense wants to do, and they're doing a good job, is keeping the Cowboys out of rhythm.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Dallas 3, Pittsburgh nothing.